Okay. Oh, here's another example. I told you I was working with a baseball site. New site. Okay, forget about established site. You might think established site, she gets plenty of weight. Okay. I will kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit. Since I don't believe in long tail, would I be willing to commit to it with a new site? You bet I would. Okay? On our baseball site, we're not going after any long phrases. We're going after the good stuff. All right. Are we on page 1 yet? No. On the other hand, it's been basically 7, 8 weeks of SEO effort, too. All right. But what this chart is showing you is both unique visitors and page views. And if you watch the timeline, you can see there was nobody coming to this site for the first couple of weeks it was up. It took to about mid-February before people started coming in. But then all of a sudden, the started trending up. Now, the unfortunate thing is I had to get this presentation done in Yannick weeks in advance, so I had to cut this off, which is kind of a disappointment to me, because had I been able to show you more time, you'd see it keeps climbing. Well, where's this traffic coming from? Long tail. Are we trying? No, we're focusing in on the power phrases. And I'll talk about that a little bit more, too, in a bit. All right, last thing. Google likes big established sites. That's what the big boys, the big companies have. For you to be successful with Google, then you should take as many clues and do what you can on the major metrics these sites have. Okay, age is a tough one, but you can increase the size of your site, okay? If you're an information type site, tons of content. If you're in hard goods e-commerce, as I am, a lot more products. This is not that hard to do. It's the little things we do on a regular basis that makes a big difference. Okay, also, you want to try to get as many backlinks from authority sites as you can. I've already told you, I've given you a handout, and there's even more to come on that issue in a little bit. So, what are the specific techniques I'm using today? I mean, it's nice for me to talk about the trends, but what can you do to start making a big difference? And we're going to talk about three things that you can do that will make a big difference for you. Okay, first thing, you want to get links to your interior pages. We talked about the value of deep linking and the deep linking ratio. How do you do that? How do you do that if you have a hard goods e-commerce site that nobody wants to link to? And you don't want to do reciprocal linking? I like to point to what I'm still seeing, and I'm always amazed by this, the hugely overlooked opportunity with article directories. See, I use article directories, but differently than what many people are still doing. I'm not worrying about getting an article picked up 50 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. In fact, I'd be happy if nobody picked up my article. I'll post an article on a strong article directory, and in the bio section at the end, what do I have the opportunity to do? 3 links. They don't care what page I'm pointing to. They don't care what page I'm pointing to, so I'm pointing to interior pages. All right? Now I've got an entire page on a strong site, all on the topic of my choosing, from which then I put in 3 links to the interior pages of my website, all on topic. Does Google love that? Yes, it does. Okay, this is easy. You guys should be doing this. I'm amazed at the major article directories. Sometimes I go through, like eZine articles, as an example. We'll always post like new articles on its homepage, which is kind of nice because MSN will pick that up the same day, by the way. That gives you goodness with MSN. I told you they were easy. All right. Sometimes I go through all the articles I've been posting a day, and I just go look at what somebody put in their bio section. I still find some articles where they're either doing nothing or they're doing www.mydomain.com. I'm like, oh my God. Now, some people have woken up a little bit, right? And they don't put www.mydomain.com. They make it a nice anchor text link. Okay, you know, my good stuff at mydomain.com, you know. They're getting a little smarter, but it's still pointing to the home page. All right? 3 different pages. You can hit 3 different pages with one article. You ought to be doing that. Okay, number 2. This is getting really important. Now, I'm going to almost sound like I'm going to contradict what I told you in the very beginning about reputation. But this is important with Google, and it's a Google thing. Google doesn't want to see the same phrase over and over and over again. Right? Well, we already talked about how the Google bomb isn't working anymore. So you got to mix it up. Okay, and there's 2 ways you're going to mix up your link getting strategy. Okay, some of the links, I kid you not, are going to be throwaway links. Okay, they're going to link to your site, but they're not going to say anything other than say www.thegolfcollection.com. And you go, but Nancy, you told me not to do that. You told me to make sure I use some anchor text. Okay, I did, and I don't want you to do probably more than 10% of your links kind of in this dumb fashion. But think of it this way. The guys who developed the algorithm at Google are convinced that all this link exchanging should just be a natural process. We are constantly trying to unnaturally mimic a natural process. And so if I told everybody in this room to please send a link to thegolfcollection.com, which some of you maybe sit there on your website and go, http://www.thegolfcollection.com. Well, sure you would. Did I tell you to do anything different? No. Okay, so we're going to have some percentage that are just toss-away links. Okay, the next component is you can't just say, if I want to rank for golf gifts ad infinitum, okay? And I'm Google bombing. And my 10% toss-away links isn't going to be enough to save me. Now, I've heard some guys out there saying, oh, mix up your links. Like if you were selling shoes, you should do red shoes. And then the next link says blue shoes. Well, I got a problem with that. All those links are still saying shoes. Okay? What about the word footwear? A lot of guys out there in the SEO world like to talk about this latent semantic indexing. You know what I call it? Synonyms. Synonyms. You know, if I want to rank for golf gifts, how about presents for golfers? Okay, is that latent semantic indexing? Well, I guess it is, or it's synonyms. All you want to do is try to find out some percentage of similar words, okay, that kind of mean what you're talking about, all right? You don't need to get all concerned about what latent semantic indexing really is. I don't know who came up with that term.